where many of the victims are buried in that area, and it's a very, very moving day there today. In fact, there actually was a display a bit earlier of obviously actors that were out there lying on the ground with makeshift blood on them. These are very, very disturbing visuals, and I have to warn you before we do go over to Chriselda that if it's not something you want to see, because it is disturbing, please at this point I think go away from your television screens, because it's a very harsh reminder of what happened this day exactly 56 years ago. Chriselda, you're there. What's it like?
Well, a very good morning to you once again, Leanne. We're still broadcasting here from Sharpeville, but we've moved now from the Phelindaba cemetery, where the families as well as the Gauteng Premier have laid some wreaths, of course, remembering those who were killed back in 1960 during the Sharpeville massacre. And certainly, you know, in the township here where we are, many people say it's a stark reminder of the challenges that South Africa faced in order to attain the democracy that we now all enjoy as South Africans. We're at the memorial site at the moment where more wreaths will be laid. But certainly I found quite a chilling but a great reminder, Leanne, of the where South Africa comes from, and exactly perhaps what would paint a picture of what happened back then in 1960, a flash mob demonstration. Let's warn our viewers again that this is not real. It's just a flash mob demonstration of what took place back in 1960. Let me just walk you through this, Leanne. As you can see here, some of the residents are lying on the floor. There's some stage paint, red paint that has been put on them, of course, that looking like blood. This basically to demonstrate, both young and old, demonstrating that, you know, back in 1960, so many sacrifices were made. Of course, you must recall that demonstration was against past laws where South Africans essentially stood up and said that it was not going to happen in their name. Let me speak to one of the people participating in this flash mob. Just a reminder, this is not real. It's just a flash mob demonstration of what happened back in 1960. My brother, I see you're also lying here this morning. I see young and old participating in this flash mob. Why was it important for you to demonstrate this day, 56 years later, in this fashion?
You know, we as the youth of Sharpeville, we have realized that today is the 21st of March and is the very important day for Sharpeville. Not for Sharpeville only, but for South Africa as a whole. As we are commemorating this day, and we are saying to those who fought for freedom for us to be free today, and provided a positive role model as they portrayed it in the past. So today we are commemorating this day and dedicated it to them to say thank you for the freedom, thank you for the opportunity for the right living, and thank you for portraying positive role models.
Why was it important for you as a young person to participate? Do you think young people still understand how this freedom was attained?
It takes me back to heritage. You know, heritage is something that we should conserve and protect so that future generation can have an opportunity to learn about that. What is happening today, as you can see, we are an organization based in Sharpeville. What we are doing, we are also passing it to the next generation to have an opportunity to learn about it. As you know that the youth is affected by many socio-economic issues. So art is one of them that is trying to alleviate some of the socio-economic issues. Through art and through portraying this, we are raising that youth, we still have that strength to overcome whatever hardship life threw at us.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. A really chilling demonstration there, Leanne, of young people saying they cannot forget what happened in 1960. Just for our sensitive viewers as well, who might be disturbed by these visuals, this is just a flash mob demonstration of what took place in 1960. Youths, both young and old, I guess, lying on the floor with some stage paint put on them to demonstrate what happened. Let's just walk through here and find out what inspired this flash mob demonstration. Let's speak to the director of this flash mob demonstration, who is Sharpeville. Let's see what inspired all of this. Teboho, thank you very much for your time this morning. You're quite young, as I can see. What inspired this flash mob on this day?
Thank you, ma'am, for the moment. What inspired this flash mob it's the rich history of Sharpeville that is being neglected by the youth of today. It is very powerful, and we have the skill of theatre, and we know that theatre is a significant force of change. And right now, there needs to have that change in our community. Yes, ma'am.
Why this demonstration? I mean, there are so many ways that you could have demonstrated this. Perhaps as young people, you could have went and sat on the benches, I guess, at the cricket oval where we're heading to next. But through art, you've already mentioned. Why this specifically?
This was a very sad moment for the community of Sharpeville and for South Africa as a whole. So I am somewhat when it comes to directing, I focus on content more than just entertainment.
Yes.
So now I tapped into the depth of the content to really bring change into the community and South Africa as a whole.
How would you encourage other young people on days like this not to simply go out to browse or take it as another day off, but of course to remember the great sacrifice of those who died in the Sharpeville massacre? What would you say to them?
I would firstly go with our goal as Sharpeville Academy, that we worship God with our talents. So by laying our bodies here with stage blood, I want to say to them that honor God with your body, because God is the temple, that the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So those people who died, they sacrificed their lives. So we should also do something for the next generation that is coming after us to show that we have lived our lives fully. Yes.
Absolutely. Teboho, thank you very much for your time there, who is the director of this flash mob demonstration. Quite chilling, Leanne, but a stark reminder of how far South Africa has come in attaining some of these freedoms that we all now enjoy. What's going to take place here now is that at the Sharpeville Memorial, we're expecting the Gauteng Premier David Makhura, joined, of course, by the families of the victims of the Sharpeville massacre, to lay more wreaths here at the memorial site. And there's also going to be an anti-racism march. Of course, you'll know we're all gathered here today on this, the 56th anniversary of the Sharpeville massacre, under the banner South Africans Fighting or United Against Racism. So certainly that's one of the main issues that will take center stage. Let me just bring you a bit more here of some of the placards that have been put together by these very inspirational young people. It says, "Have mercy, O Lord." This is just one of them. If we could ask our camera person, Herbert Memela, to move to this other direction. This one says, "Their blood, our future." That's quite pertinent at this stage, Leanne, because this is the future of South Africa. Clearly saying that the blood that was spilt back then was for their own future. The last one we will look at here is 69 people were killed, 178 were wounded. So a real understanding from young people here about the significance of this day. Totally, I must say, Leanne, inspiring to see that young people are also demonstrating their rich history and are ensuring that it just doesn't remain in the history books. It is commemorated every single day, and that those who fought for South Africa's hard-earned freedom certainly did not do so in vain. Very chilling demonstration here. Certainly well done to the young people of the Sharpeville area here. But we'll bring you a bit more later on, Leanne, when we march against racism from the Sharpeville Memorial to the cricket oval in this area. That anti-racism march basically symbolizing South Africa's commitment once again in the fight against racism. More than 20 years after attaining democracy, we've seen over the past couple of months that racism is still very much alive. So you'd recall President Jacob Zuma saying that South Africans should take this perfect opportunity to fight this demon, as he said, that's called racism.
Chriselda, thank you very, very much for walking us through exactly what's going on there in Sharpeville. And I must say that was exactly what I was talking about, just the fact that it is a very, very chilling demonstration, taking you back to that day all those years ago. And I can imagine the residents in that area waking up, walking into the streets and seeing something like that. That's a stark reminder of history and how far we have actually come as a country. And yeah, thanks to Chriselda for being there and covering it for us.